We're live.
Gentlemen, you try.
When?
Now.
It won't end well.
Was I making noise?
What do we do?
Yes.
Get ready to run.
Sorry.
They're everywhere!
Just shoot who's left.
I can't die here.
So don't.
All right, and we are live.
I forgot to mute. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I
And
I thought I had muted. Sorry.
it's quite all right. Of course, my slideshow is all kinds of fucked up. It hasn't done it for like no, it hasn't done it for like a month, but I have to. This is some great radio right now. I'll tell you that. You know,
Well, it's not radio. I mean, but yeah, I get what you're saying.
It kind of is radio.
Welcome to Moviesucktastic. The person who thinks we're on the radio is Joey.
We are on the
radio. The person
radio.
who doesn't is Scott.
Hey, listen, podcasts are bigger than fucking radio. So
Bigger than Jesus, hey?
bigger than Jesus. That's because I didn't put the opening. All right.
So we're kind of straying off course a little bit today because we're reviewing a good movie.
Oh, I fucking love this movie.
It's a great film. It is.
I love this movie. I cannot say enough good things about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just one of those hidden gems. You know?
Now Green Room came out in what was it?
2015.
Yeah.
2015.
Right. And it's written directed by Jeremy Saulnier.
Solner.
Solner?
I think it's Solner.
Okay. I always go for the French pronunciation. Saulnier.
Saulnier. Sommelier.
When I saw Green Room, I didn't realize it at first, but I am already a fan of this writer-director.
Oh, what else has he done?
Well, I think it's interesting because last week when we reviewed Chomping and the Girls,
right,
I was waxing poetic about the good old days when I used to actually go out of the way to watch films that had like $100,000 budget because you had a higher chance of getting quality films those days, and back and forth. Turns out his first major film was a guerrilla budget horror film called Murder Party, which I saw when it came out and I loved it.
Oh, I have to check that out.
And after that, he did the film Blue Ruin, which I've also seen and I also love.
I haven't heard of that one. I did see that he did some episodes, wrote and directed some episodes for True Detective, which is season 2, I believe. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but this is just one of those movies, one of those get noticed movies. Like when you have somebody like Tarantino come out and say this is one of the best films, like out of nowhere films I've seen. He's right. It's like this movie came out of nowhere. Nobody really knew what it was, and then you see this movie and you can't help but be completely enthralled by it. Completely, just you're in it because not only is it they're in a real fucking tough situation. It's not one of those situations that it's like, oh, that could never happen. It's like, yeah, wrong place, wrong time kind of situation. That's really what it comes down to.
Now, this if you're saying, I'm going to be brief because you're not familiar with the first two films. This is the third part in what he considers the, unskilled protagonist.
Oh, okay.
Trilogy. Because in all three films, you have people that aren't skilled at what they're trying to do something. But the other two films as well, all of his films are also they happen in the real world.
Right.
And what I mean by that is like I'm not saying it's 100% realistic. There's always a suspension of disbelief. I think there's one or two scenes in all of the films that you could argue aren't possible. But I mean, everything's handled with like a real world seriousness and grittiness.
Right. Right.
They feel real, and the characters feel real. Bet now, what's his name? The Joe, which Nazi was it? I forget his name.
Oh, is it the one, the nice Nazi?
Yeah, the sympathetic Nazi.
Yeah,
Yes.
the one where he's just like, man, I don't know if I should be involved in this, but I'm doing it because his name is Macon Blair. As a matter of fact, I want to say Macon Blair is one of Jeremy's guys. Like, he's in his other things.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Is that Macon Blair it was also in he's also in oh Jesus, I just can't get my words together. But he's also in Blue Ruin and Murder Party.
Oh, okay.
He's the lead character in Blue Ruin.
Got it. Yeah, I mean, his character in this movie is he plays Gabe. He does everything that's asked of him. Even though you can tell that he's reached a point in his life where he finds what's happening despicable. You know, like he's at that point where he's like, you know, when I did this, he was probably in a different place mentally and angrily and whatever got him to that point. And he believed in that movement, and he was all in. And then as things progressed, you can tell he's too chicken shit to get out because there's a different consequence for that. But you could tell he doesn't like what he's asked to do and what he is doing and what he's seeing. Not that I think feeling sorry for him is wrong, but he got himself in that situation. But you can tell he doesn't like it anymore.
Well, the film, I mean, his films are dependent upon character and dialogue, but like also the background of the characters and their I guess path, if you will, and I think the film does a good job of not only showing the kind of camaraderie between like people in the music industry, but also between white nationalists and Nazis and skinheads. But what it also shows with the Nazis, though, is like it does show that there's strata. There's like there's like all right, these are the people that come here and say bad things and drink beer and stuff. Then these are the guys that and then it goes up and up, and then you get into like gangster territory. All right, these are the guys that kill people for us, and these are the guys that do this for it's like it's a pyramid, and at the bottom are just these fucking flunky idiots running around.
Right, where they peaked in gym class.
Yeah. So it's and I also think one thing it does in the beginning, because the whole opening is an interview of the band, which includes Maybe from Arrested Development.
Yep.
Yes.
Ali Shawkat.
Yes, and this film also stars Patrick Stewart and the dead one,
Anton Yelchin.
Anton Yelchin. This was his last film before he.
No, himself. I don't believe it was his last movie.
It's his last theatrical. It's his last theatrical performance. That's what I read.
Really? I thought Star Trek was the last thing.
I don't know if it was the last release film. It was the last released, I think.
No, he did Star Trek Beyond a year later.
Then it's the last one he filmed. It's one of those two. It's either or.
Oh, so maybe okay. So like Star Trek Beyond was filmed before this movie, but released later. Is that what we're saying?
It's one of those. I'm sorry I brought it up now.
It's okay. It's okay. I'm just saying Star Trek Beyond came out a year later.
I wasn't ready to be challenged on it. That's all. I just read the fact and went, "Oh, that's interesting. I'll bring that up later." I didn't have the documentation. I didn't have the citations.
So you know what's interesting? One of the things that I know I always want to bring up on the show, because when I watched it, they're in that interview and they ask them what their stranded island band is, and everyone's given an answer, and he doesn't give an answer. He's like, I can't
Right.
think of one. He doesn't give an answer. And then he doesn't give an answer all the way to the end of the movie, but the director gives you the answer.
I wasn't ready to talk about that. But
No, I just want to bring it up so we can put it in there so that we can talk about it when it comes up. Because obviously, I know what the answer is, and I would like to share it with everyone.
Well, we know the spoilers, so I don't care about that. But so that opening interview, one main thing it sets up is the fact that they don't have a online presence.
Right.
And they give their reason for that because they're hardcore punk rockers. You know,
right.
They believe in the movement. It's an easy way to set up how they'd be in a situation where nobody knows where the fuck they are.
Yeah.
That's what the whole first 15 minutes of the film is about. But at the same time, we're setting up character and we're setting up motive, and setting up this idea of who they are and who they think they are. And one of the things is in the film is that they bring up, one of the interviews is, who's your desert island band, and they all mention like, can I say Black Sabbath, this, that, like all these hard punk bands, and
right.
And what's his name? Pat, our main character, Pat Chekov. Pat can't think of an answer, and it kind of shows that like they know exactly who they are and who they're from and what they want to be, but it shows that there's like this little Pat's not sure.
Right, he's not sure.
Wavering.
Yeah.
Right. So there's this moment of clarity when they realize, like, with the kind of danger they're in at the end, where all of a sudden, maybe he's like, fuck it, you know what? Out of nowhere, and says, yeah, my desert island group would actually be Simon and Garfunkel.
Simon and Garfunkel, and then
the other one,
Imogen Poots, her character Amber is like Madonna. Mm-hmm.
Right. So it shows that like they had this, and I think you have to compare this to the whole Nazi thing, because that's what I'm talking about. It sets up that they believe in this ideal, but then when it comes down at the end, there's like, well, yeah, no, this was a whole this was a show. This isn't really us.
Right.
But you see the kind of same thing with the Nazi group, because one of the examples I think they kind of show is they come up on stage and the first song they play is a Dead Kennedys song, I forget, like "Fuck You Nazi Pig" or something like that.
Right. Yeah, something like that.
And like there's this tense moment, and everybody's like, yeah, like they dug the song.
Yeah.
So I think it kind of shows the same level of commitment that occurs later on when they're like, oh yeah, best band, honestly. Casey and the Sunshine Band. I gotta admit it.
Yeah.
And he's just like, yeah, we're here, we're Nazis, but that's a fucking good song, man. Fuck it. So there's a level of loyalty. So that's when when the shit hits the fan, you see where everybody's loyalties are, and at that point, Pat's character still doesn't have an answer for it.
Nope.
He's still and this is a whole idea of like he's forced to decide who he is in this moment, and so that's a character development. But I just like how it kind of mirrors the whole Nazi thing, where you're like, because they even say, what do you need? I need 2 loyals.
Right.
It's like
red laces. Red laces only.
Well, not even. Well, that's later. Later is the red laces, but earlier when they need to get the stab victim.
Oh, right.
Like,
yeah,
I need a loyal person. So
because Pat, he forgets his phone, or no,
that's how he gets snagged in.
Ali Shawkat forgets her phone, and he goes back to go get it for her, and he sees a girl on the ground with a knife in her head, obviously just killed. So he freaks out. He's like, I gotta call the police, and they get detained. And
if he hadn't called 911, all of this could have been avoided.
Of course, but he's trying to do the right thing, because he doesn't know that the Nazis are going to try and cover it up. They don't want any extra attention, So what happens is he starts to call the police, gets disconnected. Obviously, the police are going to call back, or 911. That's what they do. So Gabe is ready. It's like, yeah, I just called. I'm sorry we got disconnected. And then he gives them some bullshit story about 2 people in the club. One stabbed the other. And then that's when they go get the 2 loyals to, one actually does stab the other, but in such a way that he's not going to get hurt. Well, too bad. But just to prove the story that, they're making up.
Yeah, and I think that's important too, as far as like setting that idea that like not all these skinheads are trustworthy, and
Right.
this is going to become a small group instead of a lot. Because if it was like the whole group, and just if it was the whole, hey guys, here's we got to kill these guys in the back, everybody in. I mean, they could have done that and had the next, and then like just played music the rest of the night.
Oh yeah, but they know
But
that there's too many people to try and trust, and that's why Patrick Stewart, the guy that actually kills the girl, he sends them on their way and gives them a bag of dope, and he says, you know, go out, hide out, and go have fun, and then there's a reveal for that later, which is that.
Oh, I just got it too.
Oh, really?
I just got it.
Yeah, he gives him a bag of tainted dope, so that.
Because I was high. For some reason, I didn't make the connection, and I just kept going back to that line. So why did he bother saying that? What is the importance of this? I'm an idiot. Thank you for jogging my.
No problem. Yeah, he gives them bad dope so that they would OD, so that there is obviously those loose ends are tied up.
I'm not shitting you. I'll tell you the exact reason why I was so distracted that I didn't make that connection is because I was concentrating on Macon Blair's performance.
Oh, he's awesome in this.
He's if you like how he does this, Blue Ruin is definitely next on your list.
I have to watch it then. Have to.
Yeah, he's great in it, and it's a very emotional role. He's far more subdued in this than he is, but it's the same kind of acting. He's great.
No, and like I said, you could tell he's just not into it anymore.
Now you mentioned this film being like the film that you get attention from. The one thing I did read is that the writer director he after his second film, which was Blue Ruin, he got all this attention, and he was starting to get offers to do like real Hollywood films.
Right.
But he had said he knew at this point if he became a Hollywood director, he would never get a chance to do something ultra violent, and so he decided to do this instead. He
decided to do Green Room.
Right.
Oh wow.
So it was kind of like his last hurrah. It's like, okay, if this is gonna be, I'm gonna risk my career and do this film I want to do, instead of doing like the Hollywood film I was just offered, something along those lines. And I hope it worked out, because I don't see anything listed for him for the future, and I didn't do any research on that.
Yeah.
But I really hope I'm hoping he's working on something, and it's just not like listed on IMDb.
Okay, because the last thing he did was 2 episodes of True Detective 3 years ago. I'm
Right.
assuming maybe the pandemic might have played a part in that.
Yeah, I didn't even look it up. I have no idea. I hope he's got something on the horizon, because this is.
It says he has one thing that's upcoming called Rebel Ridge. It's in post-production.
Oh, okay.
See, yeah, IMDb has changed their format, so I actually hate it. I'm sure I'll get used to it at some point, but when you look under director, it has all his previous stuff, and now it has an upcoming tag, and you have to click on it to expand it. So he's doing something, or did something, that's in post-production called Rebel Ridge, and a high-velocity thriller that explores systemic American injustices through bone-breaking action sequences, suspense, and dark humor. Come on, I'm all in. We lost audio on you.
I muted myself. Sorry. That sounds like his Hollywood film. Good. I'm wrong. Fucking IMDb. That's why I didn't. That's why I posited with. I didn't do research. I just looked on IMDb. So that's why. It
doesn't have a release date or anything. It's just in post production. It's already filmed. Don Johnson is in it. Anna Sophia Robb. That's the girl from Willy Wonka, like the one that played Veruca Salt in the one that Tim Burton did. James Cromwell is in it. James Badge Dale, Don Johnson.
You had me at James Cromwell.
David Denman, who's been in a bunch of stuff. Like nobody, aside from Don Johnson, and Cromwell, it's like nobody ultra famous. Like he obviously picked these people. He probably very meticulously picked these people for these parts because he wanted them to play these parts. So, interesting. Yeah. It's like nobody that jumps out at you past Don Johnson and James Cromwell, to be completely honest. So.
Yeah. The film,
yeah.
I thought the film just really did a good job at portraying I keep saying white nationalists or because skinheads just sound stupid, but I know but it really doing them like realistically.
Oh yeah.
Like this, not like this cartoonish group. It's just there's a bunch of fucking hoodlums, and some of them are gangsters.
Yeah,
it's just
out in the middle of nowhere, which is exactly where they want to be. So,
oof. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's the plot is simple, but it's like a reverse. It's like a reverse home invasion horror film.
Yeah, yeah, and although the plot is simple, it doesn't mean that it's a simple movie.
No. It's just
I mean,
simple premise.
Yeah, it's a simple premise, but I mean, it is ultra violent, and the way the violence is done is when you see it, even little things like being like a couple of characters are attacked and killed by dogs that are trained to do that, and it's done in such a way where it's like, yeah, I can absolutely see that being something that they, is done, and of course the dogs are trained in German, which is, it just makes it even more, just, bad. It's just bad. But yeah, Patrick Stewart comes in as essentially he's the patriarch.
He's the head Nazi.
Yeah, he's the head guy. And he's, he's got the cool head. He's got the answers for everything. And not that you trust him, but he tries to be that voice of trust. Even in there's a part where he said, "Is it all right can you hear me if I'm talking at this level of my voice?" Meaning he doesn't want to raise his voice if he doesn't have to. Like he's, he's delivering it that way. So
he's in
that
control.
Yeah, right. So that they have I guess, more trusting of him.
Well,
so
he definitely knows how to negotiate and how to smooth talk. He's obviously that kind of leader.
Yeah. Oh, and when he when he gets rid of everybody, he tells them, it's like, come back on this day and on this day for the workshop and whatever. Remember, what did he say? It's not a party, it's a movement, something like that. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, listen, you can come here on Mondays and Tuesdays or Mondays and Thursdays for the workshop, and Saturdays, free drinks on me, blah blah blah, and have fun. But remember, it's a movement. It's not all parties. We're here for a reason. So, and like when he sticks his arm through the door because he's holding the gun, and they want it back.
Which might be a weak point in the.
Yeah, to be honest, I mean, if you want a suspension of disbelief, that scene to me is because there's just no way, in my opinion, you're still holding on to that gun that tightly with the damage that was done to his arm.
Well, at that point, they grabbed his hand. Let's not be silly. They were pulling him to cut him. That they weren't just trying to get the gun out of his hand.
Well, they wanted it
were
though.
Trying to
they did want. They did. I know, but they did want the gun too. That was the whole point of him sticking his arm out.
Yeah, but he wasn't holding on to the gun while he wasn't fighting for the gun. Let's squash that right now.
Well, I'm just saying they could have taken the gun and still cut his arm up like that. I'm just saying.
He did.
No, he still had the gun when he put his arm back through the door.
Oh, then he did a good job.
I'm just saying, there's no way you have any grip power left.
Well, I'm saying most people would argue there's no way you'd give them the fucking gun in the first place.
Well, no, of course not. Of course not.
Although, I mean, realistically, what's your other option?
It's true. Very, very true.
Their turf in this, I was like, what are your options at that point? But I still don't think it's a good idea to give him the gun.
It's funny. The one Nazi, his name,
Big John,
yes, but his real name, Big Justin. His real name is Eric Edelstein, but I could swear he was related to David Harbour, the sheriff from Stranger Things.
He's got that same head.
He's got but his voice also sounds the same. Like, I don't know if that was just an accident or a coincidence, but his voice, like, if you close your eyes, you're hearing David Harbour. I mean, it was pretty. I was like, is this guy? He kind of looks like him. Is he related to him in some way? And I looked it up. He's not at all. So I thought it was interesting. But yeah, no, it just this is the problem when we review good films. We usually tend to like, it's easier to review bad movies.
Yeah,
there's so many things that you can find wrong with it. Like if we like with the arm thing and the gun, I'm really nitpicking because I love the scene. Because when his arm comes back through the other end and it kind of flops over, I'm like, oh. I was like, oh my God.
I've seen some people say that, like, with those wounds, he would have bled to death and it was impossible, because of that. So that's the suspension of disbelief, disbelief part. It's like, okay, in the real world, but
they use duct tape.
I've heard of farmers getting their arms ripped off and surviving, so I'm okay to stretch
my
mind with this.
They use duct tape. It's all good.
It's not like the old I got shot in the shoulder, I'm okay thing.
No.
He reacted the way I would expect someone to if those were the wounds you had.
They use duct tape. It's all good.
Nothing wrong with that?
There's nothing wrong with that. Duct tape is involved. It's fine. Duct tape fixes everything.
Yeah.
It's
the dialogue is great too. I mean, it's really, again, it's really anchored in reality. There are very few parts where you find yourself quibbling over, if that would really happen.
Yeah.
Especially because a lot of it's driven by the characters themselves. So you can, they do stupid things or they don't know how to do things because in real, that they wouldn't.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I've seen this movie 3 times, and I've watched it almost the 4th time. Like, you start it, and then you don't go back to it kind of situation. Mm-hmm. I don't think I've watched the movie this many times. I can't remember the last time I did it. It's one of those movies where it's, I don't know, I'm just drawn to how good and well made this movie is. Mm-hmm. It just really, there's just something about it. And I am absolutely going to check out his other films, because if they're half as good as this movie, I know I'm going to enjoy them. I just know I am. So, but what's the matter, Vivi? Come on, I'm trying to do a podcast here. Look at this cat. Look at this cat. Get out of here.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing I feel is lost on me is the music aspect of it. A lot of the film is like really like based in music fans. I'm not a music fan.
Right.
So one thing I know the poster of The Green Room. I've seen it a bunch of times. I never realized that it was
it's a take on
an homage.
Yeah. It's an homage to being on stage, punk rock.
Well, no, but I mean a specific shot. Like a specific.
Oh, yeah, I got that. I just don't know what it is. I mean, I definitely got that it's a specific shot of something.
It never occurred to me that that's what it was. I just thought it was just because I knew the film, because I saw it after I saw the film.
Yeah. I mean, I'm assuming the machete is supposed to be a microphone stand or something like that.
I never would have got the music reference to that movie poster if I just saw it at random.
Oh, really? No, I knew. I knew it was a music reference. I just didn't know what from, and I still don't.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like sometimes I understand the movie. It's not like I'm like scratching my head. What's the punk rocker? But I mean, like sometimes I just feel like there's got to be subtle things in there that are lost on me.
Yeah. No, I get
like
that.
Spinal Tap. Like the Spinal Tap. How they all play bass. Or they have 3 bass players. Someone told me that, and I was like, oh, why is that bad? I don't know.
It's that bad.
So I'm always hyper aware of that when I'm watching a film where I know like the writer has a background in that or is specifically immersed in that culture, because I don't know it.
Oh my God, that's funny. So I mean, we could talk about
Oh, that's right. You brought up the whole island band.
Yeah. So I mean, so you get to the end of the film, and he's sitting on the side, and Imogen Poots is with him, and he's like, "I got it. I know my desert island band." And she's like, "No, it's like, who gives a fuck?" Or no, tell someone who.
Tell that to someone who gives a shit.
Yeah, and then fades to black, credits roll. But obviously, the band that is his desert island band is Creedence Clearwater Revival.
All right. Here's where the writer director annoys me a little bit.
Oh no.
Because he pulls a Sofia Coppola. He said in interviews, yes, I played Creedence Clearwater at the end, and that's one of the bands I told Pat for the character. But then he says he secretly told the actor what another band, and that was supposed to be the one the character is motivated by at the end.
So it's not Creedence Clearwater.
So he's come out as saying it's one of the two he mentioned to him, but it's not not the real one.
So obviously,
which it's just fucking just a wrong answer.
Yeah, Anton
Wrong
Yelchin.
Fucking answer.
So,
I'm sorry.
So the answer is with the director and Anton Yelchin, who is no longer with us. That's what I'm being told right now.
And that just
That does annoy me.
Yeah, it does.
So does the director say that if you pay attention to the film, you can figure it out, or it's just I told Anton Yelchin and sorry, he's not.
From what I gleaned, it's the latter.
Okay.
I told him something else, and that's a secret between him and me.
Well, great. So since Anton Yelchin has passed away, then he should tell everyone.
See, it's a Sofia Coppola when she pulled that shit with fucking
the Lost in Translation, yeah, with the come back to New York.
Yeah, he whispers in the ear. She's like, what was it? So, it wasn't in the script. What was it? It's like, oh, that's just between him and me. Says, fuck you. No. That's not what a film is about. A film is about communicating to the audience. When you start holding stuff from the audience on purpose, you're just being a dick.
Yeah, and it's a minor thing. So
yeah,
I'll give him a pass, even though that does annoy me that it just isn't clearly Creedence Clearwater Revival.
There's no reason for these kind of games. None. There's no reason for that kind of. Oh, I guess I'm never going to tell you. Yeah, everybody wants to be the fucking "You're So Vain" song thing.
Oh,
yeah. It's not working for you too. It doesn't work for anybody else. It just worked for that song. Please stop. Stop doing it with movies because it doesn't fucking work. You know how often I've heard Lost in Translation referenced in the last 10 years? This many times.
You know how many people I know in El Paso? This many.
It just annoys me. So it's a black mark on this otherwise perfect film.
Right.
God damn it! Why did I have to do that?
Yeah, and I've been meaning to bring it up. I'm like, because I've seen it so many times. I'm like, it's obviously Creedence Clearwater. I was like, when we review it, I'm going to bring it up. And I didn't do any homework on it. I just assumed it's clearly Creedence Clearwater Revival.
Honestly, there would be no debate on it if I hadn't read that interview. Would have, Joey, you're right. I mean, hands down.
Oh, lordy lord.
Also, and I also like the paintball story.
Oh, yeah. And I like the way he did it, too, because it gets cut off. And then it picks up again later in the film. Not too much later, but later. Where he starts to tell the story, and you're starting to get into the story a little bit, and you're like, okay, like obviously this is this moves the plot in some way. Then it gets cut off for a good reason, and then it picks up again, and you're like, oh fuck, yeah, that's right, that story. Like you kind of forget about it, and then she's like, finish the story? And then he does. So.
What I like about that story is not only is it that it's based on a true event that happened to the writer-director, but it's also very similar to my my high school field hockey story.
Well,
which I'm not going to go into because I just told it. Just insert floor hockey
with paintball.
With paintball.
There you go.
And sport, military people with sporty kids.
Got it. Yeah, showed them a listen. All right, so I guess we can rate this, right?
Yes, we can. I think we've said enough about this film. It's a good. Oh, and also definitely check out Blue Ruin and Murder Party.
I'm gonna go. Add them.
Murder Party is a comedy.
I don't care what it is. You could.
Well, I'm saying it's a low budget. It's like a guerrilla. It's chompy level budget comedy.
Fine with that,
but good. And then Blue Ruin is the film that got him the attention, and it's just awesome.
Okay.
Now Green Room right now is currently sitting at 7 stars on IMDb.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, for something so violent, I'm surprised. I shouldn't say I'm surprised it's at a 7.0. It's a really well-made film. But I know that it wouldn't be higher, if that makes sense. Even though I think it should be. I really do. I really feel like this is a solid 8. You know? Okay,
now we gave Chompy and the Girls a 7 last time. I'm with you. I was leaning towards 8 on this.
Yeah.
So I think... Oh, wrong one. So I'm thinking, yeah, let's go...
Let's go 8 on that.
Right. So I'm going to rate that 8. That's official on the IMDb site. Now, we have rated... hang on one second.
Oh, yeah. What are the other movies that we rated an 8?
As far as I know, as far as I have listed, which is a portion of our episodes, I'm still working on that.
Right.
We have 13 films that we rated 8 as well. Most recently, we rate Barbarian, Hellraiser, and Prey all got 8 stars from us.
Wow.
Also, Oscar films. Coda, Dune, Nightmare Alley, Power of the Dog, 8 stars. Promising Young Woman. The Father, Trial of the Chicago 7, Judas Priest, and the Black Messiah, also 8 stars.
Judas Priest?
Sorry, you know what I mean.
I know what you mean, but I had to stop you there.
and the other 2 films are also horror films. Poltergeist, the original, and The Wolf of Snow Hollow. We
love our well-made horror movies. What? So, if it's a well-made horror movie, you're going to get a higher rating from us. Just because there's so many badly made horror films. There really, really are.
Honestly, this past year, I just added 6 or 8 more to my collection that I didn't even see. I just did a random search, and actually, I went back on Letterboxd. I've started to look at them again, and they had some lists, and one was top 50 horror films of 2022. I hadn't heard of 10 of them.
Wow.
So I grabbed a bunch. I mean, this horror film quality has really picked up in the last year or two. I mean, there's been shit ones too, but there's been a lot of good horror films. The one thing I wanted to say, hold on, what happened? Oh no.
What'd you do?
Oh no, I just sorted something and it didn't come out the way I was supposed to. That's weird. Why would I do that? Hold on. There it is. The one thing I wanted to ask you, do you recall, I went all the recent films that we reviewed.
Right.
Do you recall what we rated The Black Phone?
Oh. Yeah, I'm almost positive that's an 8. Right. I'm pretty sure we both really enjoyed that. I can guarantee you that's an 8.
Because for some reason when we did it, I didn't mark it on IMDb. So
that's really?
Why I wasn't there when I went back.
You can go back and listen to the episode. The rating should be close to the end of the show.
Should be.
Unless we went out. Well, I don't think we rated it and then went on for half an hour.
I've been doing this for past episodes now. We do that a lot.
We ramble on after we rate it.
Yes, yeah. It's not common, but it's not uncommon.
Got it.
Just want to
so let's not do that this episode then. We gave this one an 8. And let's,
Yep.
you know what? Here, I'm queuing up the outro music. There we go.
Uh-oh.
Here it is. All right, everybody. Thank you again for joining us for another episode of Moviesucktastic. Go to our website at moviesucktastic.com. Download and listen to the show there. You can also go to iTunes, and you can do the same thing. As a matter of fact, I just got some statistics from YouTube and whatnot. The show's been doing pretty well on YouTube. Actually, it's been doing really, really well. It gave me a whole year in review for 2022. Yeah, we had 1,000 new subscribers, and I know, that's small potatoes for other YouTubers. We're not making money doing this. We're just having fun. So to hear that we had 1,000 subscribers in a year, to me, that's pretty damn good.
And for any of you tuning in for the first time or the first couple times, glad to have you aboard. If you ever want to reach out and request something or whatever, we're more than open to accommodating.
Yeah, I mean, to see that 30,000 hours have been watched for our shows. I mean, I like that. Anyway,
hey, Joey.
Yo.
Hey, Joey.
Yeah.
What episode is this?
381.
381.
Yeah. You can go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/Moviesucktastic, and we post there, when we go live, trailers, all that stuff. The new trailer for Cocaine Bear is out. Do not watch it. Don't watch it if I feel like they are giving away too much in the trailer, so I stopped it halfway. I
didn't even bother.
I started watching it, I'm like, you know what? No. They're giving away too much. Way too much. Unless this bear kills 20 more people than I saw in the trailer, it's too much. I'm sorry. Stop it with that shit. You can leave us email. The address is themovieguys@moviesucktastic.com. You can leave us voicemail, 908-514-4470. And you can just do a general search for Moviesucktastic on the web. A whole bunch of things come up. And we'll be going on a small holiday hiatus. We'll be coming back in the new year. But we'll probably get 1 or 2 episodes in before we start our Oscars reviews, because the nominations will be out in the second week of January, and we will be all in on that. So,
and we're doing our January release stuff as always.
Yeah, that'll probably be the episode we come out of this hiatus for. All the January movies, all the trailers. We're going to talk about them. We're going to talk about the movies. We do it every year. There's some doozies this year. Oh, like that movie Megan. Did you see that trailer yet?
Which one?
The Megan with the doll. The anime. Yeah. Ooh. All right, everybody. Do you have any words of wisdom, Mr. Wilson?
I did not see that coming.
All right, everybody. We will talk to you next time. Bye-bye.
Yep. Bye. Sword!